Hey, welcome to Chick Chat.
Casey.
Hey, who's joined us? If you've joined us, say hello in the comments and tell us where you have joined us from. And we have a special guest tonight, and we'll tell you about him in just a moment. Hey, welcome back. All right. If you've joined us, say hello in the comments. We are so excited tonight. We have a guest with us tonight. Goes by Coach G, Gary Newsome. He's a man of God, a father, brother, coach with Warrior Academy. He's also with Warrior Hoops. He works with kids, coaching them on basketball and life. And he's a BTBY Speakers Academy person. Is he instructor, Heather? Graduate, and he does a warrior prayer. So we are so excited to have him on and welcome him today.
Woo!
Hello.
Hey everybody, how you doing, ladies?
Good.
How are you?
I am outstanding, thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you for inviting me on. I'm honored to be here and blessed by your presence, so thank you.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. Thanks.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, so we want to hear, that's a lot. She told me that you talk about the journey of a warrior. So we're really excited because we want to hear about your journey as to becoming the warrior that you are. And so I am just going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself and tell the audience about you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again. I am Gary Newsome, aka Coach Newsome or Coach G. I guess I wear many hats. I'm father, 3 sons. I have 6 amazing, beautiful granddaughters. I'm an entrepreneur. Started 2 businesses. Uh, Warrior Hoops or Warrior Academy Sports, I started in '04. I lost both of those businesses during COVID. So I'm in the process of rebuilding both of those as we speak. Um, Went through great loss over the last 3 years of my life, probably the most devastating 3 years of my life. So lost both my parents about a year and a half apart. Went through a painful divorce after 32 years of marriage. I lost 3 spiritual sons to murder and gun violence here in Kansas City, one of which died in my arms. So went through a dark period of trauma, obviously, and depression, anxiety, sadness, grief, all at the same time. So just, really bad, dark time of my life that I'm in the process of recovering from and rebuilding. But initially I was, in a dark place and sad and grieving, but I've made some changes in my life and I've taken life by the horns and rebuilding. So I'm no longer afraid of that. I don't run from the fear of that situation. I run to the fear to conquer the fear. And I've overcome that and taken great strides to rebuild really every facet of my life, not just one piece, but everything. So,
Wow, that's a lot to unpack within the last 3 years. You went through all of that.
yeah, yes. I mean,
Wow, wow.
it's
So what?
devastating. I'm sorry.
So so how did you cope through that? What was your coping mechanisms?
Well, I'm first and foremost, the core of me is a believer. And I know a lot of people would say, what's a believer? Don't you want to say you're a Christian? And I stay away from that word because I feel it's so cliche and diluted. And I don't necessarily want to be dubbed that or known as that. A believer or a Christ follower is it, what you would see probably on my social media is I want to follow the example of Christ. By no means am I saying I'm perfect or different than anybody else. That's just the way in my mind I perceive it and want to see it and look at it. So my faith, which I would say during this process I struggled greatly with and stepped away from God. I was an active practicing minister, and I've yet to return back to that. But um, that's what got me through this. I lost a lot of the people as far as friends or brothers and sisters in the gospel that I would call mother or sister or brother. Gave up on me, walked away from me, judged me, cast me into a pit, and left me there. And it is what it is. I could be mad about that, and there was a moment of time that I was, but I've moved on from that. And the Lord has sent me a new tribe of people and surrounded me with new people that I'm really excited about, that have my heart and have my back. And they'll hold me accountable when I'm wrong. Of course, I don't need yes men in my life, but they're also people that will love me, and love me back to life. And there's no judgment. Again, when I'm wrong, they're going to tell me I'm wrong, but I just have really good people in my life. I missed that. I didn't hear you.
I was trying to review the spotlight. Wow. So Heather, I guess, is one of those people that you met in that period.
Yes, Heather is really instrumental in bringing me to BTBY. She reviewed some of my posts, and I think liked some of the things that I was saying weekly in my Warrior Word. I try to put out what I dubbed the Warrior Word. Everything I do is based kind of on a warrior mentality. My programs are called Something Warrior. So I put that out every day, or a warrior prayer. And I think that was something that was a blessing to her, which I appreciate greatly, Heather. And she reached out to me and asked me if I was a speaker. And I'm like, well, I speak in ministry, I speak in coaching. So I'm not a professional speaker per se, but it's actually something I would love to, try. So she encouraged me to come out and review some things. And I did that and just kind of followed her and her growth and her debut. I was there for that. So that was inspiring to me, and just listening to her talk about her life. And I'm like, well, you know what? If Heather can do this and be, brave, I can be brave and try it too. So I'm following suit.
Awesome. And we'd also like to welcome, thank you for joining us, Shelly and David. David also has said that he can relate to the language of being a follower. And I think it's interesting. I too have switched to being a Jesus follower versus just a Christian. And
That's cool.
So yeah. So
we've talked about in the past how we can do an entire show on that topic by itself. Just all of the church or the judgment, the religion. That's a whole nother show. Just
it is
alone.
It is. We can unpack that between the three of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would. In ministry, I've helped so many people through church hurt, and I had been, I'd experienced much of that myself, but nothing like what I experienced over the last 3 years. So,
right.
I guess I have a greater understanding of the people that I was trying to help.
That's right. That's right. I can relate 100% actually. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's funny how, Sandy and I have talked about in the past how God brings people into your life, and the way that you and I met, Gary, is a whole nother topic. But I think it's funny how at the time that I met you, the things that were going on, I kind of did call you out straight out of the gate, and I was very respectful and appreciative, and I really valued the way he handled it. He didn't, well. He was like, you're right, and I need to do better, and we both grew from that. Yeah. And then I think that was also kind of bonded, like I call him brother, he calls me sis, like it kind of bonded us together. And then we grew from that in our BTBY community. But I gained so much respect for him just in that moment of he owned it. He owned it. He didn't try to backpedal or anything. And, but by the way he handled it showed me he was genuine, and he was the words he was saying, he was walking the walk and talking the talk. And that was big for me, because at that point I was still trying to weed out people that were not that way. So
thank you, Heather. That was evolution for me. I appreciate those words, because that was evolution for me, because that was a difficult point. That. I mean, that was a painful point in my life, and I was really coming out of the midst of some really hard and painful things, and trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Really lost identity and had no clue of where I was going and what I was doing, and being new in the dating world and being new to a new
Yeah.
job, and now single and making decisions for myself. I mean, just my
Wow.
whole world was brand new, literally
Wow.
everything.
That's
So
a lot.
a
That, I
lot.
mean, that's why I'm saying, wow, three, in the last 3 years, I'm sure that you're still unpacking some of that, right? So, I mean, every once in a while, I mean,
It's
I always think that I'm on this road and then all of a sudden something will come up and it's a speed bump. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to slow down. And yeah, that was a trigger, of things that I need to probably work on. I think it just shows us, where we're at and who we are, you
right.
know, and like you were just saying, Heather, I mean, owning it, saying, yeah, I need to work on this. I mean, that's half the battle right there, is recognizing that you need help, recognizing that you need motivation and somebody to motivate you. I also was in a place where I was always encouraging and counseling others. And when I got to that place of having no one who encouraged me or counsel me, that was a lonely, lonely place. And I was like, wow, I set this up. And I recognized that I set that up that way. It wasn't like other people had abandoned me. It was more because I had set those relationships up that way.
Right.
So unfortunately for me, I had to sit back and go, oh, I've made all of these people look to me for advice, but I have nobody that I'm asking besides God, that was at the time. And I totally understand. Getting out of some of those patterns that we get into, with our what we think is our identity, I guess you'd say. We wrap ourselves so tight in identity that when that's stripped away, you're like, okay, who am I?
Right.
I think we
What am I
also
doing?
we have all been through, losing. I mean, we haven't, Sammy and I haven't lost both of our parents, but I mean, my dad's still alive, but he's not part of my life. So when we lost our moms, you do lose part of your identity with that too. And you had it back to back on top of everything
Yeah.
else. So I can't imagine what that was like to,
Yeah.
to go through.
Well, the word, thank you for that. First of all, the word I guess I would use is orphan. And, I'm 50 years old, and you would think that's silly. I mean, you're a grown man, but, your parents are your rock, no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
And my mother in particular was, I would still say the one person on this planet that understood me. And there's just times that she didn't even have to say anything to me or do anything. I just knew she understood. And when she did speak, she spoke with such wisdom and power that it's like she spoke right into my soul. And, to realize that now that is gone, I'm just like, oh my God, Lord, who replaces that for me now? Who will understand me? Who will see me?
Yeah.
Because, I'm the warrior, so I'm trying to be strong. And she could just come in, she'd say, come here, son. Sit down.
Right.
Yeah.
When I had to put her in a nursing home, and there's no way I could show weakness going into that. I had to be strong every time I went in to see her. And it killed me because I didn't want her to be there. First of all, I broke a promise to her to put her there, but I just could not do anything any different. I literally lost 2 different jobs trying to manage that. And she understood that, but and had forgiven me, but I didn't forgive myself because I broke my word to my mother.
Mm.
Um, so I had to be strong going in there, and she would just be like, "Let it go. Come here." And she'd just put your head down. She'd be sitting in her bed, and I put my head down on her pillow, and she'd just pat my head, and she just got to let it go. I have forgiven you. I know why this is happening. It's okay. I understand. I'm not upset. You know, it is what it is, son. And I just struggled with that. But she was the only person on this planet I felt like that really, my entire life, knew me from beginning to end, from top to bottom, inside out. So how do you replace that?
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's not replaceable.
Yeah.
I don't think, but that's because we have,
It's been a long time for both of us, and I don't think either one of us have the answer.
right. So
Yeah, I think I think the way you do it is you replace it with things like what you're doing, things that you can, give back and service and all the things that you're doing. I think you have to fill that hole with something else that's important to you.
Right. Well, I think to add to what you're saying, one of the biggest differences of me, and this was actually going into my BTBY final, which was this past Saturday, and this is what I spoke on. The last thing that I said, I spent my life being the strong person, being the warrior. I was taught by my father to internalize, warriors don't cry, you be strong. Men are taught that, especially a Black man in America. You do not show weakness, you just show strength. And I did that, but there was a price, a great price that I paid for that. And I didn't realize that until probably like 2018, when internally I started to unravel. And I tried to tell the people around me, I'm falling apart, something's wrong. And everyone just, oh, you're strong, you're the man of God, you're the prayer warrior, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm in trouble. I need help. And as a Black man in America trying to say you need help, that wasn't, an easy thing to do, but I was unraveling. But I learned now to let it go. I mean, it's okay to show the feelings. It's okay to show the emotions. It's not weakness to say I'm in trouble and I need help. And I've done a really good job of pouring into myself and the Lord pouring into me and me looking in the mirror, doing the work. And I do a lot of mirror work, affirmations every day, talking to myself. But I've surrounded myself with a network or a tribe, as I call, of people who speak into me all the time and build me up. I poured my entire life from an empty cup. Now I'm so excited to realize what that's going to be like going forward to pour from a full cup. Because now, as Oprah would say, I've surrounded myself with people that fill my cup to a point where it runneth over. And now when people look at me and say, man, you're full of yourself, I can say, yep, I am. Not arrogantly, in an arrogant,
Right.
but in a way
Right.
that, yeah, I am full of I do believe in myself. I do love myself.
Right. That's key. Really knowing who you are and loving yourself I mean, you have to do that to help others.
Well,
I probably did it the wrong way before. I probably was just doing it because I knew what to do versus feeling those feelings for real.
and you can't really love anyone else until you love yourself. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
Right. But
So Matt's talking about your piano. Sorry, Matt, one of our guys. He thought you had a great piano back there.
Yeah.
He goes, wait, that's a green screen. Yes, Matt. Thank you for joining us, Matt. Thank you for who's joined. Just say hello. So yeah, we went deep really fast on this show, and we usually don't get this deep this quickly.
Well, I kind of want you to because I know that there's a couple people that watch this replay later. I want you to kind of touch on you were talking about the mirror work that you do.
Oh, yes. So
kind of briefly for people that don't know what that is or how that works.
Well, I learned, and I have to shout out to my cousin, Anthony G. Green, really taught me mirror work. And what I mean by mirror work is talking to yourself and looking in the mirror, seeing yourself, seeing your reaction and responses. So I say those things to myself every day. I tell myself I'm great. I tell myself I'm a warrior. I'm a survivor. I'm an overcomer. I am strong and not weak. I'm an asset and not a liability. I'm a leader. I'm a believer, that I'm rich. I'm abundant in wealth. I'm, all these different things. So it's so important to hear yourself say that. It's one thing for other people to say those things to you, but it's completely different. It's a different level of power when you tell yourself that, and it becomes a self-belief in yourself. There's power behind that I can't even explain. But if you just start with something simple, women struggle with identity and just, believing that they're beautiful. Just look in the mirror every day and tell yourself, I'm beautiful. I'm attractive. I'm lovable. Whatever maybe start with 3 or 4 or 5 points. And if you even I had to start with writing it on my mirror. So I would put little sticky notes on my mirror, and it was so difficult for me to do that exercise. That's why I had to do the sticky notes, because I couldn't think of positive things to say about myself. I felt that bad about myself. So I had to use some of the things that other people had said, stick it on my mirror, and then just read it, to the point where it became ingrained in me in second nature that I could receive that from myself. I received that from everyone else, but I couldn't receive it from myself. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there.
Totally. Yeah. Been there. Yeah. And I like that Matt said that. He says he's his favorite person. I think that's awesome. I really, I mean, I relate to that. You have to start giving yourself those kudos. Like you said, if you had nobody there to support you, you do have to say, hey, I made it through this day. I
Right.
made it, 100%. I've made it this far in my life. So I'm doing okay.
Right.
You have to say those things to yourself.
Right.
Be kind to my loyal subjects. Oh my goodness, Matt. Now he's our jokester of our show, by the way. He really, yep, it works, Patty. That's right. Daily affirmations, to encourage yourself. I know that, some people are like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, I've seen people do it all different ways. The Post-it notes on the mirror, the lipstick on the mirror. I've seen all kinds of things, on the refrigerator. Huh?
So I use Sharpie or dry erase on my mirror. My old house, it was all covered.
Yeah.
It led me into a deeper discussion, even, if we want to throw faith out there. So my relationship with the Lord, that I would say I struggled with, or even, I won't say I lost, but I struggled with during this, because I'm like, Lord, why me? I'm thinking about all the things that I've done to be there and support and help people. And then I have to go through this Job-like experience. But then I begin to realize, why not me? God was trying to teach me something and give me something new. And I was probably holding on to things that he had been trying to tug away from me, and I wouldn't listen. So
right.
It took me from a place of being dependent on God. And I think the church is in a place now where we make people so dependent on God. And I guess, Christians would say that's, God wants us to be dependent on him. I would disagree with that. I say God wants us to be interdependent with him, that, he wants us to co-create with him. He doesn't, it's given us the ability to make decisions on our own. Yes, he wants us to check in and go through all our decision processes with him, but he has given us the ability to make decisions. He's put desires in our heart, that we're born innate with, that, why do I want to do this, or why do I want to do that? Well, God put that in your heart to do that. That's why you're good at that. So I just feel like he wants to come alongside us and co-create life with us, not be dependent. Oh, can I do this, Lord? Can I do that? We say, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. Well, God's waiting on you to make a decision. He's waiting on you to get off your butt and get in the game and make a decision.
Preach. We're gonna add preachers to the end of
that.
Right.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
Send me an offering, Heather. Just send
Amen.
me an offering.
So, and it's true. I mean, if you're a person of faith, a Jesus follower, I mean, we're called to do that.
Right.
We're called to do that. I mean, it's in every scripture he pretty much said. It's like, hey, I'm going to help you walk on, step out of the boat. Come on, Right. I mean, like you said, he didn't tell Peter to hold his hand. He said, step out of the boat and come on. So, it is a different relationship, right? It's just trust. Right. It's
empowering.
Right. He wanted him to trust him that he could do what he said he could do, and that's a lot of it, and I think coming to trust, I think you have to start trusting your own decisions too. That's something that I struggle with in the last 4 years that I've known Heather myself, was trusting my own decisions. That was difficult. When I had a similar experience than you. I had my whole life kind of stripped away. And so, um, there's a couple things that I had to rebuild, and I didn't do it perfectly, and I did it very imperfectly. And I went in the wilderness for a little while and decided, was God really who he said he was? Was he really there for me? Because I don't know if he was. And I questioned all that. And I think that people, when they go through something, that we do that first. We're like, hey,
Right.
I don't trust you now. Why? Why is this happening to me? And those are the questions, right?
Right.
Like, why? The why questions. And like you said, why not you? I made everybody equally. Why not you? Why, just because a lot of people serve God and have done all the things. I totally get it. I mean, I'm relating to you so much. I'm like listening to it going, oh my goodness. We've all had this path, right, Heather?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's in those moments when you do question it that you have to rely on the faith. You
Right.
have to, when COVID shut my business down, that was, Sandy was there. She remembers I had no income. I'm a single mom home with my kid with no income. So I lived on faith for quite a while until recently. But somehow I was, he always provided and he always gave me guidance into what the next step was. And again, you have to trust.
Yeah.
Even when he sends someone or something that's very obviously what you've been praying for, you still go, well, but maybe, what
Right.
if? I'm not sure. Because it's like you said, take a leap, jump in the boat and get out of the boat. That's hard to do.
It is.
When you're not wearing a life jacket. You're like, you really want me to just get it, go on in now? Okay, maybe. So I think, we've all been there. And I think for me at least, and I know with Sandy, we came out, stronger on the other side. So maybe that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well, I believe so. I think one of the quotes I used in my final last week in BTBY, and shout out to BTBY too, but I there you go. I used one of Will Smith's quotes, and he talked about the greatest things in life are on the backside of pain or trauma or hurt. That
It's true.
the God that we serve, he's not just going to put you through. And I won't even say that he puts us through things. He just allows some things to happen. But there's a reward at the end of that. There's a lesson to be learned and there's a reward at the end of that. So that's one of the big steps that helped me not to be afraid of pain, not to be afraid of struggle, not to be afraid to go through different things, to actually embrace that and run to it, not fight it. So I think that when you fight it, you just make it worse and you prolong the struggle. But embracing it, conquering it, you get to the reward much quicker. So that's kind of my philosophy now.
Yeah. Well, I think that my first thought when you said that was that quote has a whole different meaning after the Chris Rock thing. But I think this is a good point to kind of transition from that into
what a mess you had. Wow.
I couldn't help but say it.
I know. I didn't even think about
me. But kind of transition into you talking about how the coach part came about. Because I know that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I would love to hear about that. Yeah.
Well, I've been a coach for about 25 years, basketball coach. I would say I'm a coach of basketball. I would say I've been a financial coach and just a coach of people, because with being a basketball coach, you become people's mentors, young people mentors. I've been a youth minister, armor bearer for pastors. So you coach people. That is just my heart. It's I guess not bragging or anything, because I don't see it that way. That's what my purpose and destiny is. That's what I was created to do. When I'm with my kids coaching basketball, that's a job, obviously. And when I was doing it, I got paid well to do it. I didn't charge the fees that some of my peers charged, and I could have, but it wasn't about making a bunch of money. for me. It was about creating a comfortable lifestyle for my family, but it fed my soul. So it was a job that I would do even if I didn't get paid to do it. So just making a difference, that was hilarious. It was making a difference.
I'm trying to be all serious listening to you, but
I
that's
was
not the comment.
Oh yes.
But it just
Sorry.
fed my soul. So that's one of the core parts that I try to teach people now is what is it that feeds your soul? You know, God created a purpose and a destiny. And then he wrapped Heather around it. He wrapped Sandy around it. He wrapped Coach G around it. So there's a purpose and destiny within every one of us that only each one of us can do. Nobody else on this planet can do. And it's just really seeking and finding out what that is. And once you find that, it's like that job that you would do even if you didn't get paid to do it. So coaching, when I was at Warrior Hoops, I would do that if I didn't get paid for it because I absolutely loved it. Hours and hours and hours and changing lives. And people say, you're just coaching a basketball game or coaching practice. No, I'm coaching life. You know, the life skills that came out of that and the experience that came out of that parallel life, that you could teach a kid in a safe environment, you know, in a basketball practice or a basketball game, that they could go and now take and apply it into life where it really counted. At the end of the day, basketball didn't mean anything. You know, some of them got scholarships and whatever, but this was lessons that you could now go and apply in an everyday life where, you know, now this young man is leading a family or this young woman is a mother to children and she can use the life skills that were taught in a basketball game or a basketball practice. So I just thought that was powerful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heather, you didn't invite anybody else to be a guest tonight, did you?
Nope, I did not.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We got someone trying to bust up.
Yeah. We keep getting somebody trying to come on.
I don't know that person.
Who is Yolanda?
Don't know.
That might be my sister.
Oh, you invited her?
I sent her the link, but no, I didn't.
She's trying to come on.
Yo, you can't come on, sis. You can't come on.
The link that you sent her was to the studio.
She's texting me that. I'm not getting anything, just hanging.
Tell her if she adds a video, we'll put her on because we want to hear what she has to say about her brother.
You don't get to be in the spotlight without me.
We need.
That's funny.
That is funny. Sorry.
I just texted her back.
Poor Yolanda. I'm like, who is Yolanda? I keep kicking her. She's like, why am I getting kicked out? And I'm like, oh.
You see her comment? I saw the comment there now.
I'm like, oh no, Yolanda, we'll bring you on if you want to, for sure.
Yep.
She's been one of my rocks, and I would say through this struggle, she has been my protector. You know, I wouldn't say we're super close growing up, but in this last 3 years, we've become really close. She saw her brother falling apart, dying, suicidal, in a dark cave in a pit. And man, I mean,
yeah.
Did she come to my rescue? I can't even say thank you enough to her. So I'm glad she's on and she gets to hear this because there was times that I wanted to go. I was begging God, I'm done. I don't want to fight. I have nothing left. I don't want to be here. And she just would not let me go. You know, she fought for me in prayer. She fought with me in love. When she saw me, she would just embrace me. And I can't say thank you enough to her.
No. Well,
I hope she can hear you. Yeah. I hope she hears it. She's, you know, we can send you.
Definitely have a purpose that you. So.
That's so funny. So yeah, Kieran knows about coaching. He's a hockey coach, so he gets it.
Nice.
He gets
it.
it.
She did respond. I just saw that.
Yeah. So, oh, that's nice. So I kept kicking her because I didn't. She was coming into the studio versus to our link. But Yolanda,
Why am I getting kicked out?
yeah, we're sorry, Yolanda. I kept kicking you out because you're in the back room. You're in the green room. You need to have some M&Ms while you're back there. Anyway, so
they're in the bowl on the table to your left.
So, yeah, that's funny. But you know, it's good that you had family and your sister, you know, there for you. I'm blessed with sisters too, so I'm really blessed that they've been there for me through my dark periods of time. But then there's some friends that have been sisters too, like Heather's one of them. You know, there you that's what's great about friends is you get to pick your family out of those people too. And
yeah,
you know, sometimes we just need to lean on them sometimes because your family members sometimes can be too close, especially if they're grieving along with you, right? I mean, that is a little more difficult. So yeah, wow, you have your story is I mean, what's in the frontier for you? What are you looking to do going forward if you're not going to go back into ministry? I mean, what's your next endeavor, I'd say? The next one, not all of them, because I'm sure we have plenty of them, but what's your next one?
That's a tough question. I'm really seeking the Lord for that now. I would say everything I try to do, I would still dub ministry because it's for the kingdom and it's helping people. So it's never about me. It's for what I can do for people in the kingdom. So, I mean, currently I'm in financial aid at Concord Career College. I draw from that because I get to help young students every day finance their education and their dreams. It fits into my mold because I come out of a financial services background with Wealth Builder, a financial services business that I ran before I lost it in COVID, which, you know, I'm in the process of studying for my license to get all of that and rebuild that. And then I definitely want to get back into coaching, basketball and some other sports to add to that Warrior Academy sports. But I guess to really answer your question, on the forefront of everything for me is speaking. I've really fallen in love.
On stage in Kansas City, August 25th.
I hope to be, sis. I hope to be. Well, let's just speak that into existence. So
that's right. That's right.
I will be.
If I gotta go up there, you gotta go up there.
Well,
words have power. Words have power.
Right. That's right. We've been talking about that all night.
That's right. Words have power. So that's it.
Well, really,
that's where he'll be.
that's what I want to do. That's what I feel like the Lord has given me right now, and I believe that will lead to life coaching. I believe because I've done that per se as a coach and minister. But now actually to have a practice in that. So as I speak and what I say hopefully touches the hearts and minds of people, that I can now work with them on a one-on-one basis and affect change in their lives. So I'd say that's the forefront thing for me now, speaking, life coaching, and getting back into my financial services business.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Those are great paths, right? And it's never too late. Never too late to start something new. You know, a new career, new path. I mean, it's never too late, right, Heather?
I mean, here's the funny thing is we're both 50. You're a little bit past 50, and look, we're just now starting.
Hey, easy now.
Just a little bit. She just teeny tiny bit.
Teeny.
Double nickels. Starting a whole new life.
Right.
I mean, how exciting is
that? That's right. It's exciting. I mean, I read about all the CEOs, entrepreneurs that don't start until they're in their 50s.
Right.
60s. I mean, I'm there. You know, Bonnie Raitt, how old was she when she put out her first album? I mean, nobody's too old. I mean, look at Betty White. Betty White was, I mean, she just kept going. So, I mean, that was amazing. Oh, here you have one of your peoples.
Yay!
Oh, Izzy.
Gary will be speaking on the power of love next month in KC Mo. He's already in his path to greatness. Yes, he is.
Awesome.
And I'm going to try to, if I get off working time, I'm going to be there.
Well, Izzy's part of my tribe, and what she's doing with Activate Your Power Now is amazing, and it's really touched my life. So I'm really honored to get to be able to be on her stage and speak for her, next month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's in the local Kansas City area. So you guys
That's
check
where
that
I
out.
started.
Yeah. See, I'm starting my business at 52. Yeah, there you go. Awesome Wood Things. He is making some really cool things.
He
Yeah.
is.
It's the new 20. Come on, guys.
That's right.
It is.
And I saw
It's
Gary
all
dance. I
It's
saw
all
Gary
about
dance recently. He's still real young.
Who is
Who?
that?
You, Gary. I saw you dance not long ago. He's still really young.
Oh, and a virtual live stream. Okay. Well, I'll have
There
to
you
check
go.
that out then. All right. All right.
And
I
can we
mean-
just see how cute Isabel looks in the outfit that's in her profile picture?
Hold on. I'll put it up there a second.
Heather, it's funny that you said that
Awesome.
about dance, because that was one of my things. I know you guys had asked me some of the things that I was doing. That was one of the things that I never had done before, Sandy. I wouldn't call myself a dancer. I still don't call myself a dancer, but I did what's called the KC two-step just as a therapy thing, just to do something that take me out of my comfort zone and got me around people and end up falling in love with it. So
That's neat.
yeah, it was great. So I need to go back.
Kansas City two-step. So I guess that's country?
No.
KC two-step? No, it's a
I
kind
see.
of
I don't know.
soulish thing. So.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Different side.
I don't know.
Different side over there.
50 is the new 20. That's right. I think so too. I keep telling my kids, I'm like, I don't know how you're catching up with me, but you are. I mean, I don't know how I'm getting younger and y'all are getting older. It's just happening. Yeah, and 100 bill is the new 20. Yeah. That's true.
And I'm
Thanks,
liking
Matt.
this Awesome Wood thing.
You what?
I'm liking that guy, Awesome Wood thing.
Oh yeah, his name's Matt.
His
Okay,
name's
man.
Matt.
He comes on. He was a guest on our show a couple weeks ago himself. So
He's kind of like our heckler, but
he's our heckler / comedy.
comedy relief.
Yeah. If it starts getting a lull, he has to throw a little boomerang in there. We'll see. Yeah. So
That's funny. I like him.
Wow. Yeah, he's great. He's got good energy. And he knows everything about YouTube and how to get your stuff out on YouTube. And
Oh, well, I need to talk to Matt.
You do. Yes. See, good to meet
Yeah.
you.
We're all about making those connections.
Yeah, because
Nice
he
to meet
has.
you, brother.
Yeah, good. He's a good dude. So
And
I met him on a live streaming show. I talk about groups. Like during COVID, I joined a bunch of virtual groups, and it was a live streaming group that I joined, and I met Matt through that and a bunch of different live streamers. So it was pretty cool. And we all had different, we had a different niche than everybody had their own niche. And it was pretty neat to see us all grow through learning how to do live stream. And he was a pro though. We all looked to him. We like, Matt, how do you do this? Matt, what equipment do we need? So there you go. See there, Matt, you got some more. Yeah, Matt.
And Sandy, I think Sandy's doing a show on Thursday night about dating. And
On
Gary,
Thursday
you and I
night.
can watch and be so thankful we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, Thursday night, I'm talking from 40s to 70s, dating at this time, like what it's like. We're just going to have a panel of guests. We're all going to talk about what it's like to date right now, which is, like online dating to, just dating, or trying to, I've met people in person and been dating and it not work out, because of whatever. And, it's really tricky at our ages. Because there's so many things that you don't realize that could not match. Like,
so the rules
it doesn't match. The rules are different.
And the words are different. And
everything. What happened to, hey, I like you, you like me, let's go out? That doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen.
Here's the funny thing and the positive I will say about online dating. I met some of the most amazing guys. There just wasn't that
They weren't a
connection.
match.
I mean, obviously, because I was waiting on the one I have now, but I've had so many guy friends that I met that I went on a date with and was like, yeah,
Me too.
you're really cool, but it's just not it. And we're still, 5 years later, still friends.
Same.
So I think that's a positive. I know there's a lot of guys Sandy dated that she didn't match.
I networked them all together. I started networking them together. Like, hey, you should meet this guy because he does this. Remember when I did that?
Yeah.
Like all of them, like, hey, you should.
Tell Mary
I'm a
about
networker by nature, and I was just like, but see, that's a key to it is being truthful. The key to it is be upfront and truthful, and say what you mean what you say, and don't ghost anybody because that's rude. And just those types of things that it's like, if you're not like, by the end of my crazy dating, I dated 70 guys in 1 year.
I need to back up and tell him about your experience.
I dated 70 online dates in 1 year.
70?
Okay.
70.
So the reason that I did this like speed dating thing was, one, I was still discovering who I was and who I might like, or who might like me, or blah, blah, blah.
That makes sense.
By the end of it, I did this thing called meet and greets versus a date. I was like, let's just do a meet and greet.
She'd have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at the bar later that night. All different.
Meet and greet. Okay. Just gonna
Are
say.
you not tired?
Was that safe?
Yeah. It was totally safe.
I had her location the whole time, so she just
Okay.
I was safe. I would meet them in a public place. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, always in a public place. Most likely at Starbucks or whatever. I'd meet them for 5 minutes and no. I'd be like, yeah, I don't think we're a match. Okay. Have a nice day. By the end of it. But that is you being confident in what you want, who you want, and know if there's chemistry or not. You can tell within the first 5 to 10 minutes. You really can. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody out there, to blow what I'm going to talk about on Thursday, but it's like, like, it's just like
at our age.
Yeah. I mean, and what the guy's intention is within the 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What's your intention?
And as I always do, I'm going to stand up for the guys here. When the girl says to you, what do I need to do to get my gas bill paid? Her intentions are pretty clear out of the gate too. So I've heard some of my guy friends.
Oh, my friend told me that he met a woman that had 5 kids, and she said, I just need somebody to pay the bills within the first 10 minutes. Right. So. Look at that. I'm married. You get proposition. That's it. You're the top. Yeah. I hate to say it. Yeah.
I know I went through a phase where I put on a wedding ring so that I would not get bothered, and I got hit on more with the ring on than I did without it.
Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the dating world is just insane. And social media has really interfered with it, honestly. And I wrote on somebody's page today that people think that they have more options than they actually have, because you are not going to find that in-person chemistry, online. You're just not. I mean, you can meet them and say, hey, you check all the boxes, but that chemistry, there's something to it. There is. And I've heard success stories like Heather. And I don't know, are you, Gary? Are you a success story from online dating?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Her, so,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so I've heard success stories. It works sometimes, but you don't have 10 options. You only have one. Like seriously, the person that's for you, there's only one. There's not 10. You're not.
That's stressful anyway.
You're not gonna. A guy, when I first started online dating, he talked about that people are like billboards, like on the online thing, because you're swiping right, swiping left. It's like a billboard, right? So you swiped right. Yeah, you like these 3 billboards, but it just depends on, you know, how you rank them too, right? So that's what I always said. I said, okay, what number am I in your shoot?
Wow.
What number am I in your shoot? Because if I'm not at the top, then no go. Like, if it's not at the top.
You had a system and a plan.
I did it very analytically. I was like, a friend of mine, she actually had a spreadsheet. No, I'm not going to lie. She had a spreadsheet on who they were, where she met them, and what she was wearing, so she wouldn't wear it again.
Wow, that's too much work and stress.
That's too much work.
That's what I said. I said, what? She goes, well, it's just so I don't forget. Like, so
that's too much.
That's too much. I'm like, whoa. You know, I thought I was bad.
What I'm wearing, then I don't want you anyway.
Yeah. That's the bottom line, though. It's also superficial.
Right.
All of it is.
Oh, there you go.
There she is.
Okay. Oh,
that's his girl.
Okay, that's her. Okay.
Yeah, I think that it's all superficial. I don't know. How did you and Lori meet, Gary?
Facebook.
That's how we met. So, you know, maybe there's something about Facebook or Facebook dating that works. I don't know.
Facebook dating. Now, see, the only flaw I see with the Facebook dating is that you can't be friends with them already. You have to not be friends with them on Facebook. But then you have that little secret crush thing that you can put in there. Well, how are you going to know if they've put you as a secret crush if you don't?
It lights up and tells you there's a crush in there.
Oh, see, I don't know that. See, I guess I don't get I guess nobody on my Facebook likes me. It's all right.
Spilling all the beans before Thursday?
Huh?
The one who like
all the beans and secrets before Thursday?
No. Oh no, we got lots. There's plenty out there. There's plenty of things about this dating world that we're in right now. I've been in it since what? I'm going to be 55 this next coming month. And it's like, oh, you know, I've been doing it for 5 years now. And it's rough. Birthday. 5. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm after her. Her birthday's first.
You're first. Oh, yeah, you're May.
Yeah.
You're May.
Yeah. I say it's soon. Hers is
the Scorpios.
Jim is the 15th. I'm the 26th. And Sandy's May
4th. Be with you.
I was going to say 5th.
4th be with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was our joke for your birthday party.
Yeah. And listen to him. There's a Facebook crush feature. Yes, Matt. Since you are married, you don't know about it.
You don't get to have one. Yeah.
You don't know about it.
Why is he even on the Facebook thing like that?
He's probably not.
He's probably not. He doesn't even like Facebook for his live streams much less date.
I can't wait to meet Matt though.
Yeah, he's cool. You can't wait to see his awesome wood things. Now that's the cool thing.
Awesome wood things. You can't go wrong with awesome wood things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He makes some really cool stuff.
Because we're running out of time. Is there anything coming up? We already know you're going to be on the stage next month, Gary, for Activate Your Power. You're going to be on the stage in August for BTBY. Speaking of that, it's going to happen. We're going to have to dance that night as well. So Lori and we're going to have to step it up from this past one. His girl and I kind of hit each other as we had to dance across the we were both too scared to go by ourselves, so we just linked arms and kind of hid behind each other and did our dance across that. We have to do a Soul Train line kind of. And so,
I love Soul Train lines.
Yeah, so her and I just kind of hit and ran across the thing. But what else is coming up like for you in the near future?
Well, I'm kind of taking a break. Class is over, I guess, as of Saturday. So really focus on dialing in on my insurance business, my financial services business, so I can get that running. But then branding. I just got to rebuild my social media, rebrand everything under Coach G, because that's going to be my speaking title. I've got, I think, 3 events coming with Activate Your Power. I've got an event in June with brand with BTBY.
Are you doing Safe in His Arms?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. June 2nd through the 3rd.
Yep.
So I'll be on stage for that. Definitely believing that I'm going to be on stage in August for the big
There you
BTBY
go.
here.
Yeah.
But
Can't wait
yeah,
to see
Activate
you.
Your Power is the next one next month, April 12th, I believe, with Activate Your Power with Izzy's group. So talking, I believe, on love. So I'm excited about that.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on tonight for us, and it was short notice. He did it on such short notice.
It's
So
all
we
good.
really appreciate it.
She said, "Can you find us a guest tonight?" I went, "Yep."
Yeah.
First person came to mind.
Yeah, if you're interested in ever being a guest on our show to tell your story and your journey and to laugh and make fun of things with us, we would love to have you. So please contact Heather or I or the Chick Chat KC Facebook page because we would be happy to do that.
Even
And
if you just want to come in and talk about a particular subject or something.
Or an event that you're having coming up. You know, we want to encourage and promote people in the local KC area or in the Virginia area or in Virginia where I'm at. Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. We'd love to have you. So yeah, I mean, your story is amazing, Gary. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
You know, we're so sorry that all happened to you, you know. I mean,
I don't feel sorry anymore. I mean, I'm done feeling sorry for myself. You know, the warrior has to stand up. So you were talking about my mother. My mother, I heard that one day. She told me, "Son, get up." And, you know, that was a really bad day. And I listened, and I've been different since. And then the conference that I went to 2 weeks ago for BTBY has changed me. It's marked me. So thank you guys for having me and giving me an opportunity to share my story. This was a blast. So I definitely
can't wait to see
everybody to get on here and listen and watch and support you guys. I'll be doing that myself. So Heather, keep me in the loop when you guys are doing your airing, and I'll definitely be out here. So
I'll be sure to talk to you about it, when we set that date.
Yes.
And tell Yolanda thank you for joining, and hope she didn't eat all the M&Ms. So
sorry.
We're sorry, Yolanda.
Poor sister.
I'm sorry. I kept kicking her out. It was terrible. I was
Maybe
like,
we should have her on.
You should have her on. She's a powerhouse.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. If she is,
Heather, I'll connect you to it, but she's definitely a powerhouse. She's got a lot to say. So
all right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Oh, hey, Nora. Good night, everyone. And be encouraged. I mean, we can all turn our lives around. You know,
Life starts at 50.
Yeah. Well, and it's one mindset change, one shift of your mindset, one shift. You know, you can decide one decision at a time. You don't have to make all the decisions, one decision at a time.
Right.
So, all right, you guys. We appreciate you, Gary. Coach G, is that going to be your branding, Coach G? Should I be looking out for Coach G?
Yes,
the Warrior. Okay. All right. We'll be looking for Coach G, the Warrior.
Coach G, the KC two-stepper.
And Warrior. Do you do
I
it
need
with
more
a sword?
lessons, Heather,
do you do it with the sword? That's all I want to know.
No.
Sword involved? No swords. Oh, darn.
No.
See, anytime I think of a warrior, I just imagine swords.
There's
I don't
a sword
know.
in my Warrior Hoops logo. So.
Well, see, there you go. I knew there was a sword somewhere. There had to have been.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful evening, and we're going to exit out of here and see you next week.
See ya.
Peace out.